Still the same group? Yes. Do you want the first one? I don't need it. Okay, good. Well, because then if we change it, I have to add. Yeah. All right. Stand up.
You can be seated. This is the 5 a.m. initial appearance docket. We're going to call you each in here individually, tell you why you're here. When you come into the room, there's a lectern in the center of the room. Stand behind that, give me your full name and date of birth. I'll be giving you important information concerning your case. You don't have to try to memorize what I tell you, because before you leave the area, you'll receive a printed copy of a document that contains all the important information that you need to take with you. If you're someone who's here in a probation violation matter that will be heard in Maricopa County Superior Court, the Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you at this time, so you'll have counsel at your next court appearance. If you are someone who is released, you need to make sure you review the release condition, review the conditions contained in the release order and comply with them. For example, if they include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with alleged victims or witnesses, and you violate those conditions and you're taken into custody for that reason, you will not be released from custody easily again. All right, we will start with Francisco Hernandez. Then after Mr. Hernandez will be Herman Campbell. Full name, date of birth?
04/15/1996.
And your full name?
Francisco Javier Hernandez.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, you have 3 matters. You were previously charged with resisting arrest, risking physical injury, and that's a Class 6 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia on a case that you were to be sentenced on February 26th. And you had felony convictions on 2 matters that you were to have a disposition hearing on February 26th. Also, when you failed to appear, the judge in that case issued a warrant for your arrest with a $2,500 bond in each case. Your next court date in these matters will be March 14th at 8:30, Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. Then, the reason we have you here today is because you were arrested earlier today and charged with the following: 1 count each. Possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. Possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony. Possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. unlawful possession of prescription drugs, a misdemeanor, and criminal trespass, a misdemeanor. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your problem is your arrest yesterday or earlier today. I guess it's now it is. Yeah, it is. Yesterday you were arrested. You were actually technically on felony release. The case that you didn't show up for sentencing on had not been disposed of yet. You were on release at that time, even though you bench warranted. And when you were arrested yesterday, you were still on felony release. And under Arizona law, if you are arrested, charged with a felony, and released, and then while you were on that release, you are charged with committing a new felony, you're not entitled to have a bond set or to be released on the new felony, so you'll be held without bond, and your next court date on the new matter will be March 14th at 8:30, Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and your order is right over there if you want. When you walk back to that room, Mr. Hernandez, when you walk back, they will hand you the orders, okay?
All right.
All right, good luck. Herman Campbell, and then it'll be Randy Rickman. Full name, date of birth?
Herman Campbell, 3/11/1977.
All right, Mr. Campbell, you were arrested yesterday and charged with possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. At the time this occurred, you were on felony release on another felony charge, and the same rules apply to your case as they do to the case of the defendant just preceded you. You were on felony release. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. There'll be no bond set, and your next court date will be March 14th at 8:30, Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. And your order is right over there. Right over there. Randy Rickman, and then it'll be John Pfeiffer.
Randy Rickman, 9/22/1987.
All right, Mr. Rickman, you're on felony probation here in Maricopa County. They contend you violated conditions of probation, issued a warrant for your arrest on February 27th with a $500 bond. Your next court date will be March 14th at 8:30 in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, at your revocation arraignment hearing. Any orders right over there. Mr. Pfeiffer, and then it will be Kenneth Davis. Full name, date of birth?
John Pfeiffer, 11/3/76.
All right, Mr. Pfeiffer, you're on felony probation here in Maricopa County. They contend you violated conditions of probation. On February 3rd, a warrant for your arrest was issued with a $100 bond. Your next court date now will be a revocation arraignment hearing, Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, on March 14th at 8:30. And your order's right over there. Kenneth Davis, and then it'll be Renee Harry. Mr. Coolidge, are you with me?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, and is the county attorney's office going to appear on Mr. Coolidge's client?
The state is appearing on Mr. Davis. However, I don't believe this is Mr. Davis's case.
No, I realize that. It's going to follow Mr. Davis's case.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. The state will be appearing on this case and the next case.
All right. Full name, date of birth?
Kenneth Davis, 10/30/1977.
All right, Mr. Davis, you are here because you were arrested. Let me get your matter up here. You've been charged with a form of harassment a felony and disobeying a order of the court, a mandate of the court when you violated the order of protection. That is a misdemeanor. Pretrial services says that you are financially capable of hiring your own attorney. If that's not correct, you can request appointment of counsel at any public court appearance. You're also on felony probation. We'll get to that matter. Your probation officers requested that a hold be placed on you. On the new charge, a secured appearance bond is set in the amount of $5,000. You'll be subject to electronic monitoring if you are released. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with alleged victims or witnesses. And if the order of protection's already been issued and you've been served with a copy, but you must comply with its terms. Your next court date in this matter will be March 14th at 8:30 Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. Then, because you were on felony probation, your probation officers requested that a hold be placed on you because this is a Term 1 violation. I set a $500 bond on that matter. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. Revocation arraignment hearing will be on March 14th at 8:30. Your order's right over there. Okay, Renee Harry, and then it will be Jameis Rogers. Full name, date of birth, please.
Renee Harry, July 14th, 2005.
All right, present. You are present here, but counsel is on the phone. Would you state your presence, please, Mr. Coolidge?
Yes, Your Honor. Todd Coolidge on behalf of Ms. Harry.
And Deputy County Attorney?
Yes, Your Honor. Ashley Stetson on behalf of the state.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Harry, you were, let's see, let me get your case up here. Yes, the County Attorney's Office has filed by direct complaint the following charges against you: possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. These incidents are alleged to have occurred on May 25th of last year. The warrant was issued on December 4th. Mr. Coolidge, I'm sorry, does the County Attorney's Office have a position concerning any release conditions?
Yes, Your Honor. The state does not have any objection for the suspect being released on her own recognizance. Your Honor, she has retained counsel and she has no criminal history that the state can find. The state did review the warrant, and it does appear that summons may have been sent out, and Ms. Harry did not appear. I spoke with counsel a few minutes ago and informed him of the state's position on this. So state would just be not opposed to her being released.
All right, thank you. Mr. Coolidge, I was going to follow the recommendation of pretrial services for the reasons that the Deputy County Attorney has just said, which is to release your client on her own recognizance. Is there anything you wanted to add?
No, Your Honor, other than the fact that the summons was sent to an address that Ms. Harry never has lived at, and that's why the warrant went out. And then when we found out about it, we had a hearing set for Wednesday in front of Commissioner Adib to quash the warrant and have her initial appearance. But obviously she got stopped for a wide turn and they brought her in on the warrant. So I would ask for an OR release.
That seems to happen too often. All right, I am going to release Ms. Harry on her own recognizance to appear in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix on March 24th at 8:30. Is there anything else on this matter?
Is that just the status conference, Your Honor?
It'll be an undesignated, well, it's going to be undesignated, then there'll be a preliminary hearing witness on March 18th. I'm sorry, I take that back. It's March 24th, rather. for the status conference undesignated in March 27th at 8:30 for the preliminary hearing witness.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. All right, Mr. You just have a step over there and you'll get your order. Jameis Rogers, and then it will be Brent Watson. Full name, date of birth, please.
Jameis Rogers, May 11th, 2004.
All right, Ms. Rogers. Let me ask, ma'am, is the Deputy County Attorney going to appear any more cases telephonically?
Yes, Your Honor. The state will be appearing on a few other cases on this docket, one of which is this hearing right here.
Okay. You have been charged, ma'am. Yesterday, you were arrested and charged with 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and 1 count of carrying a deadly weapon and failing to acknowledge that truthfully to law enforcement. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Does the County Attorney's Office have a position concerning any release conditions for this defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would be asking for a bond to be set in the amount of $2,000. Your Honor, the allegations in this case are that law enforcement attempted to make a stop. The suspect pulled into a gas station and initially did not acknowledge the officer's lights and sirens. The suspect did comply with the officer's commands once they made commands outside of the lights and sirens. The officer viewed a firearm in the vehicle, and then the suspect was searched. They did find a container on her that when asked what was inside, the suspect stated Fenty powder. A search of the vehicle also found a bulbous pipe and potential fentanyl powder also. Your Honor, the state is asking for a bond to be set because the suspect has a failure to appear score of 5 out of 6. She has failed to appear 2 or more times in the past 2 years. So for those reasons, the state believes that a bond is appropriate. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Was there a specific amount that you felt was appropriate?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for $2,000.
I'm sorry, $2,000?
Yes, Your Honor. Secured.
Okay. Yeah, Miss, I believe that that's not an inappropriate amount. I was going to set $2,500, but I will agree with her and reduce that to $2,000 on the new charges. 1 second here while I modify this. And then on the probation violation matter, which I will get to in just a moment. Probation officers requested that a hold be placed on you. In that case, by the way, on this case, ma'am, your next court date will be in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix on March 14th at 8:30. Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you on the probation violation matter. Of your arrest yesterday was a Term 1 violation. Then a $500 bond's been set. The same date, time, and place will be your revocation arraignment hearing in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, March 14th, right? And your order is right over there. And we will just have a seat. I've modified what the order was going to be initially from the bond amount. We'll bring it to you in just a moment. Okay, Brent Watson. Then it will be Rogelio Macias.
And Your Honor, the state is appearing on this matter.
All right. Full name, date of birth?
Brent Alexander Watson, December 9, 61.
All right, Mr. Watson, you are here because it's alleged that you committed the offense on November 16th of last year, aggravated assault causing temporary disfigurement, a Class 4 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Does the County Attorney's Office have a position on any release conditions for Mr. Watson?
Yes, Your Honor, the state does. The allegations in this case is the suspect hit the victim in the face with a pool cue, causing his jaw to break and a metal plate to be surgically implanted. Additionally, Your Honor, the state believes that this is also worth noting, is the suspect may not live in Arizona all year round. The state spoke with the case officer in this case earlier tonight. The officer does believe that the suspect may live in Canada part of the year. He is a Canadian citizen. Also, due to the allegations in this case, the state is asking for $35,000 secured bond. No possessing any firearms, no returning to the incident location, no direct or indirect contact with the victims, and no consumption of alcohol or illegal substances, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, Mr. Watson, this was a pretty serious assault, and it did cause damage to the victim. I'm setting bond in the amount of $12,500. Conditions of your release include otherwise not going back to this park where it's alleged to have occurred if you bond out, or having any contact with the victims or witnesses. And your next court date will be in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, on March 14th at 8:30. And your order's right over there.
Yeah, I live there. I'm not sure where to go.
Well, pardon me? Well,
my wife lives there.
Well, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else to tell you, but as you leave here, that place where you were playing pool, that park, that particular location, that you are not to return there just in the off chance that you run into somebody that there'll be more problems with. Any order that I enter at this time can be modified at a subsequent court proceeding for good reason, okay?
Okay.
All right. There
Your
you go.
Honor.
Yes.
Just for the court's information, that the scene of the offense is not the suspect's home.
Well, he said his wife lives there. I guess he spends time there. But anyway,
The victim is his wife, Your Honor. I don't believe the victim is his wife.
All right. Well, no, I'm telling you, Mr. Watson, that if there's any kind of problems between you and people because of this incident, especially the victim, in the future, that the bond amount that's been set could be increased substantially. I would be careful when you go back there and don't go to the park. All right.
I can't live in the park.
Well, I don't know what it looks like, okay?
Yeah,
I don't have any
it's
idea.
an RV park.
I mean, if where you were at the time this is alleged to have occurred is a place that you can avoid in that area.
Oh, yeah,
when you leave here today, until there's a modification of my order, you're not to go there, all right?
Okay. Okay, I'm not hard of hearing, sir, but
all right.
Sorry.
There's you pick up your order right there. Rogelio Macias, and then it'll be Christopher Valero.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Full name, date of birth, please.
Rogelio Macias, 1968, 21. 2168.
All right, you, sir, are here because back in May of 2008, in the jurisdiction of Arrowhead Justice Court, you were driving on a suspended or revoked license. They imposed a sanction of $450 The last warrant was issued on May 15th of 2015. This is your third arrest in this case, so I'm just going to affirm the amount of the bond that was set in 2015, which is $450, and your next court date will be in Arrowhead Justice Court, March 12th at 8:30. And your order's right over there.
Okay, so, I mean, ¿hasta te lo release o no?
$450 is your bond.
Bye-bye.
All right, Christopher Valero, and then it'll be Rachel Salinas. Full name, date of birth?
Christopher Valero, 2/25/1993.
All right, another matter that you've been in front of the court on today will be this Peoria Municipal Court arrest warrant that was issued. You were convicted of misdemeanor assault, apparently, in the past, and a fine was imposed of $700. That March 23rd of last year was the last time a warrant was issued. I'm going to affirm, I realize you're being held with no bond on some probation violation matters, so I'm just going to go ahead and set the bond and the amount that the arrest warrant was issued on, and your next court date, which is $700, next court date will be March 11th at 9 a.m. in Peoria Municipal Court. Right, your order's right over there.
All right, thank you.
Rachel Salinas, and then it'll be Giovanni Ochoa. Full name, date of birth, please.
Rachel Salinas, 12/29/1990.
All right, counsel, are you going to appear on this matter also?
Yes, Your Honor, state.
Okay, all right. Sure, no problem. Rachel, you were arrested yesterday, charged with one count each of the following: aggravated driving while under the influence on a suspended or revoked license, a Class 4 felony, aggravated DUI having a passenger under the age of 15, a Class 6 felony, the misdemeanor DUI charges, which there are several types, depending upon the blood alcohol count, a reckless driving, a misdemeanor, possession of an open container of alcohol in a motor vehicle, misdemeanor, and again, driving on a suspended or revoked license. This all is alleged to have occurred yesterday. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Does the County Attorney's Office have a position concerning release conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is requesting bonds set in the amount of $2,500. The suspect was alleged to be driving under the influence with a minor under 15. The minor appears to be 11 years old. The officers observed watery red, glossy eyes. The passenger also told law enforcement that when law enforcement stopped the driver or the suspect told the passenger to hide the open container of alcohol. It's worth noting also, Your Honor, that the suspect is at warrant for a 2020 DUI that she failed to appear at that hearing. So this is she currently has 2 pending DUIs out, Your Honor. State is asking for bond to be set in the amount of $2,500. Defendant not to possess any firearms, not return to the incident location, no direct or indirect contact with victims, witnesses, or law enforcement involved, no consumption of alcohol, and the state is also asking for drug alcohol monitoring, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Yeah, Ms. Salinas, I'm going to set a bond in the amount of $500. As I said, the Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. If there are any kind of problems in the immediate future, I'm sure that the County Attorney's Office, will be requesting, for good reason, a substantially greater bond in the next incident. Your next court date will be March 14th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And if I haven't already mentioned it, the Public Defender's Office will be there to represent you, all right? Your order's right over there. Okay, Giovanni Ochoa. Full name, date of birth, please.
Giovanni Cardenas, August 20, 1996.
All right, let me get your matter here. You, sir, were arrested yesterday, charged with organized retail theft of merchandise, a Class 4 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're also on felony probation, and your probation officers requested that a hold be placed on you. Ms. Stetson, does the county attorney's office have a position concerning any release conditions for this defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is requesting bond be set in the amount of $5,000. Your Honor, the allegations are that the suspect stole 2 cases of beer from Circle K and admitted to reselling the beer. Your Honor, also worth noting is the suspect is being investigated by law enforcement for several other similar offenses. The state is requesting $5,000 secured bond. Defend the suspect not to possess any firearms, not to return to the incident location, not to have direct or indirect contact with the victims, no consumption of alcohol and or illegal substances, and also, Your Honor, no entry at any Circle K stores. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ochoa, on the new charge, your probation officer, from the indications I got from pretrial services, was requesting that you be released to him or her supervision. So I'm going to follow that request. I'm going to release you in this case on the new charge on your own recognizance, but you'll be subject to the supervision of your adult probation officer, who you must contact within 72 hours of your release. You're not to return to the scene of this alleged incident or have any contact with victims or witnesses. Your next court date will be March 24th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Then, the probation violation matter, your probation officer will be, you'll be released on your own recognizance on the probation violation matter, and March 14th at 8:30 will be your revocation arraignment hearing in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Public Defender's Office will represent you that it also. Make sure you contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release from custody, all right? All right, your order's right over there.
Your Honor, the young lady that we just saw, she has an 8 o'clock appointment as well.
Who? If they're in custody, are they in custody?
You just saw her.
Well, no, but I can't remember. But was she released?
No.
No, well, because if she's in custody.
She has a justice court case, so.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. The system will not make sure she doesn't have a warrant issued for failure to appear if she's in custody.
No, but she hasn't here.
Wait, what?
I don't think they moved it to the correct time slot. So she should be seen on the 5 a.m.
Okay. Let me do this, go through tell her to have a seat, and we'll readdress her question in a few minutes, all right? Where was I? Okay, Jenny Ponce, and then it will be John Kizia.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm okay, better than the rest of the people, I guess, around here, from what I can tell. Full name, date of birth, please.
My name is Jenny Judith Enriquez Ponce, and my date of birth is January 10th, 1993.
All right, ma'am. You were arrested yesterday, charged with possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Is the County Attorney's Office appearing on this matter?
No, Your Honor, we are not.
All right. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, March 24th at 8:30. You can pick up your order right over there, all right?
Okay.
John Kizia, and then it'll be Jacob Castleman. Full name, date of birth, please. Did you hear me? Full name, date of birth?
John Dalkazay, July 6, 1963.
All right, you, sir, were arrested yesterday, charged with a form of unlawful imprisonment, a Class 6 felony. The Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. As the County Attorney's Office have a position concerning any release conditions on this?
I can't hear you.
Well, I'm asking the County Attorney, she has an opinion. She's on the phone, okay?
Your Honor, the state did not provide a written
All right.
recommendation for this case.
All right, Mr. Kizia, I am appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you as your attorney. I am releasing you on your own recognizance to appear. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, March 24th at 8:30. Conditions of your release include not going back to the location where this is alleged to have occurred or having any contact with the victims or witnesses. All right?
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
You get your order right over there. Make sure you show up.
Thank you.
Jacob Castleman, and then it'll be Richard Herrera. Are you appearing on this, Ms. Stetson?
No, Your Honor, the state is not appearing on.
Okay, thank you. Full name, date of birth, please.
Oh, Jacob Richard Cosmo Conroy, July 19th, 1994.
All right, you, sir, were arrested yesterday, charged with 1 count each, possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, disorderly conduct by fighting. A misdemeanor. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm releasing you on supervised release to appear in Superior Court on March 24th at 8:30. The paperwork you get, your release paperwork will have the phone number for pretrial services. Give them a call within a few days of your release and touch base with them. They're expecting.
So I get my bracelet and whatnot, right?
What's that?
Probably getting a bracelet or whatnot, or?
No, you're not going to be. No, you're
It's
not
been a long
going
time
to
since
be.
they've
You're
done
not
pretrial,
going to be
so.
electronically monitored. You just you need
gotta
to
check in with them.
contact pretrial services, and if you have any questions about things, they're the people to call in a hurry. All right.
All right.
Touch base with them. They're expecting that. All right.
Even black and white, I got it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
God bless you.
Richard Herrera. Then it'll be Jamie Mott. Full name, date of birth, please.
Richard Wayne Herrera, 2/12/1963.
All right, Mr. Herrera, you were arrested yesterday, charged with possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. It's the County Attorney's Office. Want to appear on this matter?
No, Your Honor, the state's not appearing on this one.
All right. Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to release you on what we call supervised release to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix on March 24th at 8:30. You'll get the paperwork you get will contain the phone number for pretrial services. Within a few days of your release, call that number and touch base with them, all right? There you go. Your order's right over there.
Thank you.
Let's see. Jamie Mott, and I'm sure you want to appear on this one probably.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is
Jamie Mott.
on this one.
All right, Miss Mott, full name, date of birth, please.
Jamie Victoria Mott, September 29, 2005.
All right, ma'am, you were arrested yesterday, charged with a form of theft of means of transportation, a Class 3 felony. I appoint the Legal Defender's Office to represent you. Does the County Attorney's Office have a position concerning any release conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, the state does have a position. The state is asking for bond to be set in the amount of $7,500. The suspect was allegedly pulled over due to her being in a stolen vehicle, which was reported stolen by the victim. Your Honor, the state did review the victim's impact statement that was provided to the court. I don't know if Your Honor had a chance to review that.
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Part of the reason for the bond is the allegations as well as the victim's impact statement. So state is asking for bond of $7,500 secured, Your Honor. With the conditions of defendant not to possess any firearms, not return to the incident location, not to have any contact, direct or indirect, with the victims, and no consumption of alcohol and or illegal substances. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Yeah, Ms. Mott, there are, you will see them, your attorney will provide you them at your next court appearance. They're statements from victims who are extended family members. I get I'm pretty sure, and their experience with you since you've come to Arizona has not been pleasant, and yet one of them especially wants to be in a position to help you, thinks you need a lot of help. You need professional counseling, and their heart seems to be in the right place. The part of the family, one of the victim statements indicates that they are genuinely upset about some things that happened, and I don't know whether or not they want to have contact with you again. But you need to know that there's people here who do want to help you, probably these people who know you better, much better than I do, believe that you need some serious help.
Those were never my family, sir.
Pardon me?
I've never met these people before until I came here the first time.
Okay, all right. Well, then they know of you. I got the impression they knew you pretty well based upon the things that they mentioned. Anyway,
Not true.
I'm going to release you. Well, I'm not. I'm going to release you on what we call supervised release. You'll be out. Your next court date will be March 24th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The number for pretrial services will be on the paperwork you get. You're to call pretrial services and touch base with them. And I just want you to know that the people, and especially the segment, you'll see which it is when you you see the victim statement. I think genuinely want to do something to make sure that your life turns around, and they are willing to help you to the best they can without becoming any more involved than they have to. And I think that that's important for you to think about. I mean, you don't want to be coming in front of somebody like me on a felony charge. You're pretty young, and you're kind of in a fork in the road, and you can not see somebody like me with the authority to take you into custody and make your life miserable because of being convicted of certain offenses, or hopefully see the light and be able to, with working with professionals, stay out of custody for the rest of your life. Good luck. Your order's right over there. All right.
Your Honor, that's the last hearing the state is appearing on.
Okay, I'm gonna go call, Rachel Salinas again because I need to know what the problem.
Okay, state will stick around then.
All right. Yeah, Rachel, you, okay, now I remember you have warrants from other jurisdictions. Officer, where are the warrants from? Hacienda, Justice Court?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you aren't gonna get out, how much is the bond in that case?
$627.
$627. So you're not gonna get out, until you go there, and I don't know what the next court date will be. You haven't seen them, have you? Okay, you have a right to, within 24 hours, to see a judicial officer from there, and you will see that. But if for some reason you are in custody and you can't make the next court appearance on this felony matter, you let the attorneys that I've appointed to represent you know, somebody in your family to notify them, and they very likely can get an extension, okay? But right now, I'm going to keep the date in place that was set on the paperwork that you're going to receive. It'll just be your responsibility to make sure that if there's some kind of a conflict and you're in custody, that the right people know so that they can give you an extension, all right?
Okay.
There you go. All right, we got a bunch of house calls here. Mom. Where am I? Pardon me?
We still need a signature for that.
For?
The one that you just did.
Oh, for,
The one in green?
for Rachel?
Yeah.
Rachel, you need to come in here and sign the order that you've received.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they have a place for you.
You have to.
Oh, I didn't sign, okay. You know, that happens a lot.
Come on out, Rachel.
I'm all confused.
All right, I apologize.
Okay, so everything on the paper is the same, so, yeah.
It happens too often. Let's see, type of release required. Where am I here? Where is this? Justice, okay. What was, okay, I'm sorry. Let me 20. See the amount of the bond. Nope, okay, what was the amount of the bond that, for Hacienda?
627.
627, all right. All right, there we go. All right, on the house calls. Derek Blade is here because he failed to appear in Peoria Municipal Court on disorderly conduct charges. This warrant was issued in July of 2023. It's his first arrest. I'm releasing him on his own recognizance to appear in Peoria Municipal Court on March 27th at 9 a.m. Brian Tran is here because he was arrested for disorderly conduct by fighting yesterday. I am releasing him on his own recognizance and to appear in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix on March 26th at 1 p.m. Robert Cotton is here because arrest warrants out of West Mesa Justice Court on 2 cases for failing to appear. Criminal trespass in one and another criminal trespass in the other. I reduced the bonds to $250 apiece. What was the condition? He's not to go back to the location where these are alleged to have occurred, and his next court date will be West Mesa Justice Court, March 12th at 8:30. James Anderson. Where am I here? Has 2 warrants out of, for not paying a fine. One in Buckeye Municipal Court, $546. This incident occurred back in March of 2009. His next court date in that matter will be in Buckeye Municipal Court on March 19th at 1 p.m. On the next warrant from Litchfield Park City Court, the amount of the bond is $1,160. His next court date will be March 19th at 1 p.m. And then lastly, I guess he was arrested yesterday and charged with criminal damage. I set a $100 bond in that case, and his next court date will be, let me see where that'll be, in El Mirage Municipal Court on March 18th at 8 a.m. That's everybody, right? Correct? Yes. All right. Let me log off here. And